Hey everyone, Dr. Ty here, and in this video I want to share with you the 3 red flags of sensory processing disorder. So if you're a parent wondering if your child is struggling with sensory issues, this video is for you. Now these are red flags taken from a great book on SPD called The Out of Sync Child. Love that book, great resource. So the first red flag is if your child has an unusual response to being moved. What does this mean? Well, maybe they're standing in line at school waiting to get a drink from the water fountain and boom, they get bumped into and they go from happy to meltdown. Or your child's playing at home and they get picked up and they're in this nice playful mood and all of a sudden they start crying. And it seems like, wow, it didn't seem like much, but why is my child over-responding or overreacting? The reason this is that in SPD, the brain gets overwhelmed very easily from a lot of information. So what might seem like a little bit of movement for you or I is actually a lot of movement in your child's brain. The second red flag is an unusual response to being touched. And this is very similar. Maybe your child's sitting at home and a little fly comes down and lands on his hand and he freaks out. He knows the fly is safe, but it's actually the touch that's overwhelming his brain. Or your daughter doesn't like to have her hair brushed. Or maybe your child, if you try to put clothes on, they say, oh no, that tag bothers me. Or it's too scratchy, so instead of being able to get them dressed in the morning, they're running around the house. The reason this happens is very similar, where the brain is getting overwhelmed by what might seem like a light touch, very little to you or I. Your child's brain perceives it as an explosion, and it doesn't know what to do with it. It overwhelms it. And then the last red flag, low self-esteem. This is the one that I get excited to work with these kids for because how much it can affect their life. If your child's brain isn't processing things the way other children are, and maybe they see other kids playing on the jungle gym, they want to join, but they know, well, if I move around that much, I'm not going to be able to handle it, and they don't get to play. They don't want to do something like musical chairs in the classroom, or they're trying to get good grades and pay attention, but all these little things can irritate their brain and they can't keep up with the other kids. So these are 3 red flags that you want to keep an eye on for if you're wondering if your child is struggling with sensory issues. If so, definitely recommend getting an eval for your child. And of course, if you're looking for more information on SPD, take a look at my other videos.